After the new globalist government of Poland started imprisoning previous opposition party members, tens of thousands of people showed up to protest. It is highly destabilizing. A lot going on over in Europe. Germany has mass strikes of farmers out there too, impacting the supply chain. We also have lots and lots of reports coming from you guys about flooding over in Australia and lots of other things happening across the country and the United States as well as the world. Let's jump right into your reports. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your reports. These are your updates that you're sending in from all over the place. We are using our network of information. Everyone sharing what they know so that we can all be best informed about what's going on out there. We want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group, that makes this all possible. They help us stay on the air as well as the team members I need for research and amassing all these updates. So we want to thank them. If you have a retirement account and you want to get some more information about what you can do with gold, silver, and platinum in your retirement account, there'll be a link at the end of the video. All right, so the mass protests in Poland last night, tens of thousands of people protesting out on the streets, this new globalist government taking back control from the Law and Justice Party. Donald Tusk, even though he sounds like somebody else, he's the polar opposite. He is trying to imprison people who were serving in the government previously. He is going after anyone who opposes him. He's trying to lock down the media so that no opposition thought is communicated through the media. He is like somebody who's currently in office in the United States and who can but ask questions about how this suddenly everybody wanted the pro-European Union, just globalist agenda across the board. And it's highly suspect, but yet that's where Poland finds itself, and the people are not happy about it. That's the by and large of it. Let's hop over to Germany. This is from Daniel. An update from Germany. Some slaughterhouses, especially in southern Germany, have announced to stay closed for 2 weeks as a consequence of the farmers' strike. And they're in solidarity. Also, some of the milk processing companies plan to join in the protests as well. This protest, this strike in Germany is spreading. They are very, very upset with what Olaf Scholz is doing. Meanwhile, today's chancellor, Olaf Scholz, announced that some of the new taxes for farmers are not to be imposed immediately. He wants the protests to go away. He wants the strike to end. So he's kicking the can down the road just a little bit to get them some more breathing space. The president of the Union of Farmers declared that the farmers don't see that as sufficient as the protests started on January 8th and as previously announced. Basically, they are declaring war, just like the Netherlands government declared war on farmers there. Germany is declaring war on farmers inside Germany. They want to move to a place where all they have is trees. They have concentrated cities and then they have forests of trees. They don't want to have farms. If they have farms, they should be solar farms and wind farms. They should not be growing food because that's bad for the planet. And this insanity that they're doing out there is absolutely having an effect everywhere we look. This is from Ed. Heavy unseasonal rain in Victoria, Australia. Flooding everywhere. Where we told you we're having we were told we're having El Nino weather cycle, and it should be hot and dry and windy, not wet and cool. It is hitting the farmers hard here. So they were kind of questioning also just these people who are telling us what the climate is looking like, what the weather is looking like for decades and decades and decades, can't get it right what kind of weather we're supposed to have this year. They're told, you know, it's supposed to be dry and windy and hot, and yet they're having the opposite, you know, but believe it. Believe what they're saying. Believe the science, right? The science that can't seem to figure out what in the world's going to happen next week, let alone next month, let alone 10 years down the road. Muddy has this to say. In Maryland, there's an enterprising farmer who has a business called Rent a Coop. You can rent chickens, feed, the coop, heater, water holders, etc. You don't own the chickens, so you don't have chickens. You have egg-laying pets. You don't need to rent the coop if you have your own. But they were saying, I will be looking into this in the spring. My big concern is keeping the chickens safe from Mr. Fox. I'm not willing to emotionally invest in chickens without being totally ready to protect them. That's a good idea. I had all my chickens slaughtered, if you followed along with that whole problem. Hawks and raccoon just slaughtered my chickens one by one, and then whole mass. It was not good. But there's an option for you guys out there if you're not up to setting everything up yourself, or if maybe zoning won't allow you to. Maybe there is a way that you can get around that zoning if you don't own the chickens, if you're renting the chickens or something like that. This is from Observer. 60 count eggs went from $11.44 up to $13.58 at the local Walmart. For those unaware, that is a 3% increase if you use Common Core math. Hick also reporting on egg prices here. North Central Oklahoma. Last week, our Walmart Supercenter had 60 count eggs for $11.44, same price as Observer said. Today it has climbed to $13.96, which is 40 plus cents more than what Observer saw. And they're out of eggs anyway. The entire egg section was bare. Only 3 dozen on the shelves, and they were only left behind because they were broken. Thanks for all your time and updates. Yep, absolutely. Kim says, Virginia, if you've ever shopped at Wegmans, you know that you walk in to a huge, well-stocked produce department. It's like a big indoor farmer's market. Well, in all the years that we've talked about shortages, it has never affected Wegmans' supply until yesterday. There were so many empty refrigerated bins as well as large bins being removed from the floor. When I was checking out, I asked the cashier about it, and she said it was because everyone's New Year's resolutions. Now, I know cashiers are oftentimes making minimum wage or relatively low wage or whatever the low wages is, but you should still be able to sniff that BS out, right? That is just absolutely, as Kim says, so you want me to believe that this is the first year in history that all of the produce is missing because of people's resolutions. Okay, well then explain the bakery section also looking empty. We're hearing about that across the board. A lot of you guys are reporting in from all over the country that produce has disappeared. Produce is disappearing, and you haven't seen it look so bare in a while. So we're running down kind of what's going on with that, but definitely that is a shortage that's everywhere right now. This is from Texas. One of my kids is inventory manager at Walmart. They are eating some of the shortages by cannibalizing inventory from distribution centers and removing products from Sam's Club to sell at Walmart. Also, more brands than usual to cover gaps. They're using a lot more brands to kind of cover the fact that they don't have enough of things. So they're bringing in more brands from wherever they can get it. GV and Equate brand makers are walking away from contracts because they don't have any profit margin. So these guys have agreed to these contracts, but they're not making any money, and so they're just breaking the contracts and stopping making. Apparently that may have been what happened to the pasta in previous weeks. Also, employees are limited on some purchases. So employees can't even purchase things like tuna, sugar, and pasta. If they're not allowing their employees to purchase tuna, sugar, and pasta, That should tell you that there are some shortages there, shouldn't it? So his son joked with his GM that they're not sure, that he's not sure that this can last much longer. The GM got angry and serious, saying not to discuss this because it's bad for morale and might cause panic. The GM of a store, a Walmart, getting serious about not talking about shortages because it would be bad for morale and cause panic. Friends, are you listening yet? Are you paying attention? Don says, I live in Central Texas and our nearest grocery store, there was no chicken broth at all. First time that has happened. We have been fortunate that our stores have been well stocked, lots of eggs and dairy. I expect shortages will continue to show up. What makes me sick is how this has been planned for years. What makes me sicker is that we've slowly allowed it to happen. But Jesus is Lord and God is in control. We got to keep things in perspective, right? We got to keep things in perspective. There's shortages. We should be taking action. We should be getting out there and doing what we can, but we should also not be panicking, right? Because hopefully you are prepared. Hopefully you are getting more prepared. Cynthia, I was in Sam's Club in Bowling Green, Kentucky today. This is the third time I have been there since getting my card late last year. The store is stocked well. As I was walking around, the employees were stocking various shelves. You would never know there was a shortage of anything anywhere. But Sam's Club's good at hiding things because they move things around and they can just stop carrying certain things. And they do. If you watch them closely, you're suddenly like, why isn't there any rice anymore? There's no empty holes because they just put other product there. But Cynthia says, I continue to stock up even though people I know think I am being ridiculous. Joseph in the Bible put food aside for the people in Egypt and was prepared when the famine took place. He was even able to help his family. Jan says, just came back from Wally World in Central Texas, right? Almost no fresh veggies or fruits. My husband pointed out that there was a bunch of empty shelves that used to have fruits and veggies. I said, well, that's what is being reported around the country by others that I've been telling you about. See, if you watch this channel, you're ahead of the curve and you get to say, I told you so to people. We've seen quite a few things that we've talked about on this channel have turned into I told you so's. So this is Great Dan says, if you're feeding Purina dog or cat food, stop feeding it. Now, I can't verify this, but dog and cats are getting sick and dying. Purina knows it, and the FDA is involved now, but hundreds of animals will have to die before Purina does a recall. Since December, this has been going on. So I can't confirm that just yet. If anyone else can confirm that, Purina dog and cat food having issues, let us know in the comments down below. If you need to send an update, just type the word update in your comment on any one of the videos on this channel that gets it to the right place. Give us some sort of geographical location if you're talking about stores or if it's relevant. If you need to email me directly to stay anonymous, email me directly at poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. Appreciate you guys sending in your updates, and so do be aware of that with Purina. This is from a viewer. Update on pain meds. My pharmacy called me yesterday to let me know that they can't get Percocet and don't know when they will. They said I need to inform my pain management doctor well before my next refill, so maybe they can find an alternative. This is in Arkansas. Alley Cat says, my pain management doctor told me that some of the narcotic shortage is due to the current administration rule that they reduce production effective January 1st. We've talked about this before, but we're hearing that again from more and more doctors. They've been cutting back already, so hopefully it won't get worse. Completely off topic, but a few weeks ago I commented that our mortgage payment was up $300 since December 2020. You mentioned that a adjustable rate mortgage is tough, but let me be clear. we have a fixed rate mortgage. It's the taxes and insurance that has gone up. I need to learn more. And yeah, you absolutely do need to pull out your statements. And because they do that in, I forget the French word, whatever. They put it into a separate account, they pull your money in, and they build up your money each month, and then they escrow the escrow account, and then they pay out. You might want to check up how much that is actually, not just your monthly, but also how much that amount is, to be clear on that. And double check everything. Double check everything to make sure that you are not in an adjustable rate mortgage, because that could also be impacting things. Sometimes they tell you something when you're signing the papers, and if you don't read them carefully enough, sometimes there's triggers in there. They do all sorts of scary, nefarious things in order to take advantage of people. Unfortunately, that is the case. So please be aware of those things out there. There is even possibility that if you got behind on your mortgage at some point and they had you, they could have gotten you onto a new mortgage without you even knowing about it sometimes, as long as you signed something. You got to be careful about reading the papers that you sign, right? I'm not saying that's the case here, but I'm just warning people that I've seen that kind of stuff in the tax practice, seeing people who have been moved onto scary things like that. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. If you want to get some more information about Genesis Gold Group, there's a link right here. You fill that out, and they'll send you an information packet and let you know what you can do with them. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. Again, Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report.